All right, welcome to Boulder Rotary, the best place to be on a Friday afternoon anywhere in the world. So I'd like to start out with the Pledge of Allegiance, and can I call on Katrina Jewell, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you so much, Katrina. I really appreciate you being here today and leading us in the pledge. And now moving on to Charlotte Rome, our membership chair, and she would like to welcome the guests that we have here today.
Thank you, President Sally, and welcome to everyone. I'd like to call on Chuck, who's here and generously joining us again today.
Well, it's like Sally says, it's Friday, and this is a place to be wherever you're at on this planet. So even maybe the moon and Mars, the way things are going. So great to be with you guys.
We're always delighted to have you, Chuck, so thank you for joining us again. I believe that's everyone for guests and visitors, but I'll just open in case I have missed anybody. Okay, I think we're good. Well, welcome.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Charlotte.
Yes.
All right, so we have some terrific programs for you today, and all of our Rotarians have worked really hard so that it'll be super entertaining and a lot of fun. So we're going to cover some, but not all of Boulder Rotary projects that have been accomplished by our club within the last year. This is a moment of pride, but also a moment to ask yourself, what can I be doing right now? How can I get involved? Throughout this program, post your questions about the projects for our Assistant Governor, Mike Brady, and he will be collecting them and moderating them at the end. This is your moment to get more involved in Rotary and fully become a Rotarian. There are so many wonderful projects happening now and in the next coming months. So if you have been wondering, how do I get fully engaged with Rotary? Hopefully today will answer all of your questions. With that, I'd like to speak to you about what your donations to Rotary are doing on an international level, and then we'll get down to what Boulder Rotary is doing for specifics. In the words of Holger Knack, our president, Rotary International president, Rotary opens opportunities for you to live a richer, more meaningful life with friends around the world based on our same core values. 1.2 million members and 35,000 clubs worldwide, we are the original social network. Today, I have a challenge for you. I ask you to listen to the good works of the Rotarians across the world and listen to the good works of your fellow Rotarians. And then my challenge to you is to ask yourself, what have I done this year to contribute to the community and the world? Some of us might be able to give some money to support the good works, and some of us can give some time and sweat equity to support our community. I want to ask you to pledge your time and your money today. I challenge you to state what you've been doing in the chat to share with us all. So Rotary clubs worldwide contribute to solve the plastic waste problem. District 1850 had an informative exchange on the liberation of the oceans from plastic waste with DG Mara Ritterfeld called End Plastic Soup. Rotary clubs in Iceland planted trees to increase forest land, and they planted 52,000 trees. Italian Rotary members use their skills and connections to counter the COVID-19 pandemic by providing testing for the homeless. Rotary has given $35 million in grant funding to provide medical equipment and personnel protective equipment to healthcare workers in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Rotary clubs in Chicago, San Francisco, Oakland, Seattle, and Los Angeles distributed 10,000 hygiene kits to the homeless, which included toothbrushes, washcloths, soap, socks, hand sanitizer, face masks, and information about local resources for assistance. Rotary members worldwide are passionate about supporting the environment. Projects have included stabilizing coastlines with mangroves, removing plastic from waterways, and saving bees, which aid in pollination. In the time of extraordinary challenge, we created a global health milestone this year. We celebrated a global health milestone this year. The continent of Africa is certified free of wild poliovirus. So way to go, Rotary. All right, Rotary has responded to the pandemic with service, innovation, and care. I have never been prouder of our organization and its members. And those are the words of Holger Knack, and I'd like to echo them. And I'm so proud of you. And I'm so excited to share with you all of our accomplishments. And with that being said, I'd like to start with our president-elect, Chad Stam, and he's out on location.
Hi, Sally. Can you hear me?
We sure can, Chad.
I'm reporting live from Harlow Platts Park here in South Boulder. It's almost been 2 years to the day of our tree planting for our centennial celebration, where so many of us got together here in this very park to plant 7 trees along this strip here. You can see one behind me over my shoulder here. These are cherry trees. We also planted a tree over at the Mary Sando house. It was a lilac tree, which we planted in honor of Genji Patterson. One of the things that we did that day as well was send some people out through the community to talk about the issues that we're having with the tree canopy, particularly with the ash borer. In some ways, I'm kind of rooting for the ash borer because I'm really allergic to ash trees. I'm really kidding there, but what we did want to do is really go out and educate people on the importance of the canopy and the ash borer and the impact that it's having on our community. And of course, at the end of the entire event, friends and family came out, and right over here in this pavilion behind me, that's where we had our potluck. So to give you a little update, these trees look like they're pretty tall compared to when we were here the last time. I would say at least 3 feet they've probably grown. So if you're in the neighborhood and you want a chance just to kind of walk around and get a little fresh air like I'm doing now, I would suggest stopping by Harlow Platts Park for a little bit of fresh air thanks to the trees that we planted as part of our centennial celebration.
That is fabulous, Chad. They have definitely gotten a lot bigger. That is so cool. I'm so glad they're doing so well. Thank you for being.
They have. Sure. So I'm going to say goodbye for now. This is Chad Stam reporting live for the Rotary Channel. I'll talk to you soon.
Awesome. We'll see you on location elsewhere coming up. That was really cool. Thank you, Chad. All right. And now we'd like to hear from Rod Tunge, who's going to talk to us about Imagination Library.
Thank you, President Sally. Am I on?
You're on.
Can you hear me? Okay. Well, like Sally said, I'll talk to you about Imagination Library. Most of you, I'm sure, are well aware, but I'll just give a real brief background. It was started in 1995 by Dolly Parton, and she grew up in a real poor family. They had no books or even newspapers. So she promised herself that if the time came in her life where she was able to, she would provide free books to every child in her county in Tennessee. Well, that has now evolved into a national program and even international now. So it's grown by leaps and bounds. It only costs $30 a year to send free books to children. And so to support a 4-year-old is the sponsorship is $30, whereas a newborn would be that times 5. So it would be $150 for 5 years. In each book, the tagline says, sponsored by the Boulder Rotary, Boulder, Colorado Rotary Club and Mile High United Way. So we do get credit for that. Our own Diana Sherry got our club involved with Imagination Library. She was involved with Boulder Reads, which was a city program. So this was a natural for her. And she thought, well, why not have our club support this instead of going to the city and asking them to? So I thought that was a great idea. She was the chair for 13 years. I took over in 2017. And this year, I was very happy to receive a call from Nancy Geyer asking if it would be okay if she co-chaired the committee with me. And we've worked very well together and had a very successful year. Our initial concern, of course, was with COVID. And we thought since we wouldn't have direct contact with Rotarians like we've had, remember, we're over in the corner with the little red hearts with children's names on them. We thought we could really be in trouble for sponsorships. Well, that's not what happened. Our Rotarians not only state the 4-way test, they live it. They really do. This was our best year ever for sponsorships. Our individual Rotarians contributed almost $4,000. Our own Michael Weatherwax came up with his annual $1,500, and our Boulder Rotary Foundation came up with another $1,500. So we were able to support the largest number of children that we've ever had. That's 92. That's a record, and so we're very proud of that. Our primary supporters are the Boulder Housing Partners. They provide affordable housing to people in Boulder. And Fred, I sent a photo through Sally to you. We won you might show, well, thank you. Yes, that is what the Boulder Housing Partners calls their partnership award. We won that last year. And when we won that, I thought, well, that's interesting, because I always thought that you were really helping us. Well, from their perspective, we help them too. It's a win-win. I hadn't thought about that, but anyway, they're very appreciative of the fact that we provide their families, the children of their families, with free books. So it goes both ways. So thank you, Fred. Another group that goes under the acronym of El Paso, which stands for Engaged Latino Parents Advancing Student Outcomes. That's El Paso. They're out of Lafayette working with Sister Carmen. And another group is in Lafayette, it's Affordable Apartments. They are the Eagle Place Apartments on South Boulder Road. And then we also have, as another supporter, Boulder Day Nursery. So Nancy and I look forward to many more years working with our fellow Rotarians and other supporters in providing free books, and thereby increasing increasing the basic literacy in Boulder County. Thank you once again, Sally.
Great work, Rod. I'm so happy to sponsor another kid this year. Daryl and I, did it for 5 years for someone, and it was just, something that we can do this year, and it was really felt good to be able to help some kid be able to read later, which is
you do every year, and we appreciate that very much.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that with us. Good work.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Okay, and now this next one, PPE, has been really creative, and I'm pretty excited to show it to you. So PPE, take it away.
Hi, Boulder Rotarians. This just in, spring is right around the corner. And with spring comes the return of Boulder's beloved butterflies, bees, and hummingbirds. Sadly, you may know that the butterflies have declined dramatically in the last 20 years, by almost 90%. Each year, monarch butterflies leave Mexico and travel to the southern United States, where they lay eggs, which turn into caterpillars and become a second generation of monarchs, which travel even further north, lay eggs, become caterpillars, and become the third generation. This repeats itself until there's the fourth generation in Canada. That so-called super generation travels all the way from Canada down to Mexico, where monarch butterflies butterflies spend the winter. Let's ask Molly Monarch what we can do to help the monarchs and all the other pollinators. Molly?
Hi, Rotarians. We've had it tough the last couple of years because of widespread use of herbicides which kills milkweed. Milkweed is the only plant we can lay our eggs on. Pesticides have been a real killer too, literally. But you can help us by planting milkweed that provides the nectar for adult monarchs to eat.
Well, Rotarians, that's my cue to tell you the 4 ways that you can help. First, sign the Pollinator Pledge. Go to operationpollination.net. That's a website that was created by the Environmental Sustainability Rotary Action Group. There you'll find the Pollinator Pledge. Join us all in signing it. And then, number 2, plant pollinating plants in your garden. Boulder Rotary is going to help kickstart this process by buying plants that you can pick up at a date to be announced. There'll be beautiful seedlings that you can put in your garden. Third, participate in our planting project. We are going to be working with the city of Boulder to plant pollinating plants in Boulder parks. More on that to come. And fourth, reduce the use of pesticides and herbicides. Molly, anything to add?
No, just us pollinators really appreciate you, Boulder Rotarians. You're the best.
That was wonderful. That was great. Meryl and Kathy and Jim, you guys were super creative putting that together. When will we find out about?
Sal, we have to thank Cassidy for designing and putting together the monarch butterflies.
Oh, very clever. Thanks, Cassidy.
Also, we have to thank Sturts in Copeland. Give them a big thumbs up. They let us use their garden.
Nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Molly Monarch. Very good. Thank you so much, you guys. That was really awesome. And so definitely this is a huge opportunity for people to get involved. It sounds like there's some important work happening with PPE. So put that down on your list as a possibility. Okay, so I would like to call on Bill Anderson next.
Hi there. Can everybody hear me? Awesome. So hi, Boulder Rotary. I am going to talk to you for a couple of minutes about our homeless kit project. In February of 2020, a number of members of the Boulder Rotary Club worked together with members of the Rotaract Club at CU, led by Andy Meyer, and we put together approximately 200 kits. The kits include some useful things for homeless folks, including unisex gloves, unisex socks, a toothbrush, toothpaste, water, trail mix, small bars of soap, and chapstick. Speaking with folks that work with the homeless a lot, clean, dry socks, products used for personal hygiene, and things like chapstick are in short supply for a lot of those folks. And so that's what caused us to include them in the packages. The secondary part of that was we collected a substantial number of travel size soaps, shampoos, and conditioners from Boulder Rotary Club members. When we get back to in person, please keep your eye out for requests on that. We collect those, and that drives down the cost of our kits for producing them. We distributed somewhere in excess of 150 kits when we started the project. I think we'll reinvigorate it when we get together in person again, and the Rotaract kids are able to meet with us in person again as well. We were selling the kits at meetings for $5 each. Very easy to pass them out your window at stoplights or underpasses or other places where you perhaps interact with homeless people, if you're comfortable with that. Additionally, some folks were donating money, and those were also distributed through some nonprofits and soup kitchen options that are out there for us for distribution. We're hoping that once we get rolling again and school is back to normal at CU, we'll do some projects together with the CU students distributing the packages as well. Please keep your eyes out though, once we're back in person, for those collections of travel size containers of soap, of shampoo, and of conditioner. Thanks, Sally.
Thank you, Bill. I love your hoodie. It's awesome. Some good work is happening out there. So that's yet another opportunity put on your list, possibilities, what to do to get involved. And now I'd like to call on Alessandro Sachs, who is going to talk to us about World Community Service and what they're up to.
Thank you, everybody. We have prepared, with the help of Cassidy, a small documentation of what we have done so far. And through the hard work of our team, we were able to support the connection of 43 homes in Pine Ridge, South Dakota, for the Oglala Lakota tribe. Cassidy, please.
Here we are in the 20th century, and we still have people hauling water. That shouldn't be happening.
I have to walk a good 250 yards, 200 yards. I've always seen the water shortage. A lot of us never had water.
I never had anybody help me, but who else is going to help?
Running Strong has been a godsend.
They bring that glimpse of hope, of change.
This is the Pine Ridge Native American Reservation in South Dakota, home to the Oglala Lakota people. 54% of the population here live in poverty, and the reservation has the lowest life expectancy in the U.S. Many families don't even have access to running water.
A lot of us on the reservation never had water. That's just one of those things. This is my routine. I do it in the morning and I do it in the evening. Be careful, this is my road right here. You guys got to realize I live with the wild. You never get too close. There's always ice there.
All my relations come, every nation come, all my relations under the sun, we are one. We are praying, come, we are praying, come, we are the song and we are the drum. We are one. We are the river come.
Okay, we're over at Harold Eagleville Residence, Wounded Knee, South Dakota, and this is the first time he had water in he had water last year, but it's been 8 years, and so right now here's his water supply, and this is his residence here in Wounded Knee. But, buddy. And here's his dog. So you guys have a good day.
Everything. We are the water, sing. We are the water, sing. We are the water, we are where all that
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Alessandro. Are there any, I'm sorry to ask you questions, but are there any current projects that that World Community Service is working on besides water that you would want to say something about?
The water project is a project that is championed by our committee and by our club. We are supporting, as World Community Service, several other Rotary clubs in America and outside, and in countries like Ghana, Kenya, in the food support. For example, the most recent one is to support the cold storage creation in Kenya because of the crops all growing at the same time, and they cannot have time enough, the farmers, to sell them. So it's part of the grant is educational, how to make a micro business, and the other is how to store it. The list is very long, but I will update our team as frequently as possible. Thank you.
Excellent. So it sounds like there's definitely opportunities for people to come and serve with World Community Service. So keep them in mind, another one on your list. Okay, I believe Pam Heink's going to introduce our next program. Pam?
All right, I'm going to talk to you about the Weiss Journaling Project. Lisa O'Brien is the 3rd grade teacher at Whittier Elementary, and she's the coordinator of the Weiss Journaling Program. Right now she's busy teaching class, so she had sent some stuff for me to read to you. WISE stands for Writing Instruction by Seniors Interested in Education. This program started several years ago by retired teacher Craig Yeager. In 2013, Lisa writes, my teammates Tamar Van Vliet and Kathy Hill and I applied for a grant from the city of Boulder to bring the Weiss Journaling Project back to Whittier. As an elementary student, Tamar participated in the Weiss program, which provides an authentic audience, that's us, for the students to practice their writing. Tamar was so moved by the program that she wanted to share it with fellow Whittier students. As the kids can attest, they really love the Weiss Journaling Program. They eagerly wait for letters from their Rotary journaling partners and love to hear about their journaling partners' experiences and knowledge. The Weiss project integrates with Whittier's curriculum by encouraging students to share other writing projects with their Rotary partners in order to receive feedback and share in the process of writing. Thank you, Lisa. So last year, when we were still able to use physical journals, I was told by the teacher of the class that the schedule kind of went like this. Monday, journals Rotarians had written in were passed out to the students for them to look at and read. Tuesday, students were instructed to find questions we had written to them and prepare an answer, and to think about the information they wanted us to share with us. Wednesday, students were instructed to formulate their responses and questions and then write in the journal. Thursday, the class met as a group and practiced their verbal presentation skills by presenting to their classmates what they had learned from their Rotary journaling partner. Friday, they put their journal into the transition box for its trip back to us as our Rotary, at our Rotary meeting. This year, the journaling program has been able to continue, unfortunately, electronically. At the end of the school year, as a gift to us, students host a get-together they call a tea, and they present us with a paper-bound copy of the entries from the journal. They are given the bound book-style journal that has been used during the year to take home and keep. Bobby Brown brought the Weiss program to us, to our attention in the summer of 2013, and our club has participated every year since. Let's see, approximately 25 to 30 Rotarians participate each year, and we have journaled with approximately 230 Whittier students. Oh, okay, I guess I wasn't thinking it was that many. That's great. And we've worked with 7 teachers. So for those of us who are part of the program, it's been a delightful way for our club to reach out to our community. So thank you. It's a delightful program. It does not take a lot of, well, it takes involvement. It does take time, but it's not one of those projects that takes a lot of intensive time. So I would encourage people to check it out. It's been a wonderful program for our club, for our community.
Thank you so much, Pam. That was so entertaining, so cute. All right. And now we're going to look at one of our centennial projects, or a couple of our centennial projects. And I'd like to call on Mike Brady to share a video with us.
Yes, I'm proud to. Our centennial year was 2019, 100 years since 1919, and we had 3 major projects. The first one was the expansion of the Peace Park. The second was 3 water hydration stations, one at the library, one at 17th Street and near the high school, and then the other in the East Boulder Rec Center. And then the third one was the mindfulness path at Boulder Community Health. So we do have a video. You could sit here and listen to me, or you could watch the video and see for yourself. So go ahead and cue it up and let's see what we've got. How about if I talk about them some more until the video comes up? So in all seriousness, we had a club called a Club 1919 where people were able to donate money for this. We had 3 major projects for the year 100 celebration. One is we wanted long-lasting projects, and you're about to see those in the videos, things that would last for many decades, that we would have a great legacy. The second is we wanted some service projects, and some of the things that we're going to talk about, the trees, Harlow Platts, and many of the other things that we did, those were some of our sweat equity we did that year. And the third thing we did was we had a party. And so we had a great celebration. So what the heck, you know, that's not really what today's theme is, but who doesn't like to talk about a party? Fred, we got a video yet?
What we could do is go live to one of those centennial projects and then come back to the video. What do you think?
That's a great idea.
Okay.
So our roving reporter is Chad Stam. You might have remember him from 15 minutes ago over at the trees, but now he's someplace else. Chad Stam, take it away.
Hi, Mike. I'm here live at the Della Cava Center. Behind me is the plaque that was created for Boulder Rotary in honor of what we're doing. This is the Della Cava Family Medical Pavilion here at BCH, and this is our mindfulness path. So let me do a quick pan around so you can kind of see the backdrop here. If I look behind me kind of towards the south, you can see some diners back here sitting at tables enjoying a nice lunch out here in the pathway. One thing that is a little bit unmindful right now is the sound of the tractor here behind me. So I apologize for any sound, but this was created for a place to come get fresh air, relaxation, reflection. Obviously, mental health is a very big part of what our club does. And right around the time that we decided to make this one of our centennial projects, the club really started to take on a lot of efforts in the behavioral wellness and mental wellness areas of focus. You know, as you mentioned before, Mike, Club 1919 had a very big role in making this happen. At all different donation levels, everyone was so gracious with their funding during that. Out of that money that we raised, 50,000 of those funds, $50,000 worth, were donated to create this place where I'm standing right now. Let me walk over here a little bit so you can kind of take a look, because I think one of the cool things about this park is the area back here. If you look at the benches have quotations on them. This one is from Marcus Aurelius. Down here we have Audre Lorde, It is not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize, accept, and celebrate those differences. So I think, a lot of the quotes here are pretty relevant in today's times as well. One of the last things I would say, and I think it was this tree behind me, or maybe it was one over here. I don't remember. Oh, you know what? Actually, it's still here. If you bear with me a second, I'm going to walk over so you can actually see this live. For those of us who were here for the dedication of this park, I don't know if anybody remembers, but there were some speeches, and Mike gave a great talk. But one of the things that we discussed and that was brought to our attention was that when the trees were put in here, there was a robin and a robin's nest that popped up. And I remember, I think it was, I can't remember who it was. I think it was the foundation chair for the hospital here. He had talked about the robin and how it's a symbol of rebirth and revitalization, and how that's the purpose of this park in the first place. So the fact that the robin's nest is still here, I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but it's still in the tree, guys. And this is almost 2 years later. So I think the reasons that we created this park, I think it's certainly getting its use, as you can see behind me, and people are sitting out here eating lunch on a nice Friday afternoon. So Boulder Rotary might be the best place to be on a Friday afternoon. This is pretty close to second. So this is Chad Stam reporting live for the Rotary Channel.
All right. Thank you, Chad. Okay. Do we have the video yet, Fred?
Drink, drink, drink. Fill, fill, fill. Huh. Drink, drink, drink. I sure am glad that this water hydration station was donated by Boulder Rotary. It's right here at the Boulder Public Library. Just one of the many gifts that the Century Fund gave from Boulder Rotary Club. Hey, let's go check out another one of Boulder Rotary Club's Centennial Fund projects. Come on. Here we are at the Infinite Walk of Peace at the Boulder Public Library. Worked on, financially supported by many members of Boulder Rotary Club for Centennial Year 2019.
Thank you so much, Mike. Now tell me, what legacy did the Club 1919 leave that the club can still take advantage of?
Well, we raised $135,000 of new money. $50,000 was contributed and matched from the foundation, from many of our members donating through the foundation. We spent about 100 of it. So we have about 85 to 88,000 for long-lasting, projects that meet some of the criteria of a Centennial project.
That is so cool. Thank you so much. So I really enjoyed today's program. That was so interesting. So go ahead, if you have some questions, post them in the chat.
Wait, we have one more video for the.
We have one more video. Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Cassidy. Who is it?
For the International Walk of Peace. There's a second part to the Centennial Project.
Perfect. Thank you, Cassidy. That was a really great video. And now I think Marlene Wojak is going to tell us about something happening tomorrow.
Yes, well, now that we've gotten a wonderful video of the Infinite Walk of Peace, I would like you to come in person tomorrow at 3 o'clock to experience the walk. And we did it yesterday, and I have to tell you, it's a great way to catch up with some friends. About 12 of us showed up yesterday, and we got to actually meet in person and talk, and it was absolutely wonderful. So after the dog park at 1 o'clock, you can head over to the Infinite Walk of Peace at 3 o'clock. And I also want to announce that the Behavioral Wellness Committee is trying to work with the city of Boulder and with Boulder Historical Museum and with King Soopers about making additions to the Walk of Peace and making it a commemorative walk for the victims of the King Soopers shootings. And so we're considering ideas of putting up plaques, of naming the victims and telling stories about them. And so we'd like you to join us and scope out the area and give us ideas about what can be done to help the city make a commemorative meditative walk. See you tomorrow.
Wonderful. Thank you, Marlene. Thank you, everybody. So I'm the responder as well. So I just want to say, thank you to everybody who put their hard work into being creative and having a lot of fun to help us tell the story of Rotary and what we are currently up to. So if you have been inspired with the good works of Boulder Rotary, you can help spread the word about the food drive that's coming up. That's something that everybody can do. You all have email friends. Tell them all to come to the hospital on May 9th. And May 8th. And so you can also talk to Ben Gilo if you want to volunteer on that day. You can volunteer with a PPE program to help our pollinators. You can show up tomorrow at the Infinite Walk of Peace to walk around. You can volunteer at the Mother's Day drive-in that we're planning. So that'll be coming, more details on that will be coming up. And you can support the club's good works. And I'd like to turn back to our roving reporter, Chad Stam, is going to tell us how easy that is to do.
Hi guys, I'm still here at Della Cava in the parking lot trying not to get my car towed by the people who keep harassing Daryl about parking here, but I dropped his name and I held them off, so I think so far we're good. But I do want to mention that we have recently created a new system for donating online. Today is our first chance at testing that out. If you go to boulderrotary.org/on-location, either on -location or on no -location, it works with or without the hyphen. boulderrotary.org/on-location. There is an online donation form where you can donate to all of the good projects that you've just seen here today, and many more that are even yet to be planned for the future. So this is your club. The money that you donate is your money that you get to use in your ways to give back. So hopefully somebody can drop that link in the chat here, and if you have any questions, the link will be open for a while. So if you can't get to it today and you're waking up on a Sunday morning and you just feel like giving back, then go to boulderrotary.org/on-location and you have the opportunity to do that. So thank you for listening.
Thank you, roving reporter. That was great. Thank you all for having so much fun with us today. And I do want to see if Shawnee is available. She has something to tell you about something happening tonight. So if your social calendar is not filled, Shawnee, are you around?
Yes, I'm here. So looking for something fun to do this evening. Support Interact Jam Fest Battle of the Bands, which is happening tonight at 7 o'clock. So Boulder High and Fairview High Interact have worked very hard to create this fun and entertaining Zoom event. All the proceeds that are collected will go to Bridge House, which provides services to adults experiencing homelessness and access to the resources they need for a better future. So at the top of the chat, there are links to the $5 tickets. Please purchase some from Brown Paper Tickets for this evening's event, and or make a donation to the GoFundMe account for Bridge House. Thank you.
Thank you, Shawnee. We'll be there.
Great.
It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. Whenever we've gone in person, I'm just amazed at some of the talent that's out there. It's kind of amazing. So you never know, you might see, in the future rock star from Fairview there. So thank you again for your work, Shawnee. Okay. I'm going to turn this over to Assistant Governor Mike Brady to see if there are any questions.
I haven't seen any questions in the chat yet. So this is an unprecedented opportunity for someone to unmute themselves and ask a question without it first being in the chat. So let's all be good boys and girls and acknowledge that we have a question if you and make it short and pithy if necessary. So does someone have a question?
I have a question. So how does someone get involved at the district level if they, want to do that?
Well, there's a lot of, so what's great about today's program from my point of view is that so many Rotarians think that maybe Boulder Rotary and Rotary is meeting on a Friday, watching a program and hearing some stuff, but really it's service above self. And so you highlighted, Sally, and all of the people in the club about ways that you can get involved. Service above self. Yes, at the club level, you can get involved by talking to you, and you'll connect them. If people want to, there's about 60 clubs in the Denver area. And if anyone wants to get involved kind of in the district level, they can give me a call or an email, and I'll connect them with whatever is interesting to them. Michael McGale is our district trainer, which is something we're very proud of. He gets to represent Boulder Rotary by training all of the presidents and all the leadership in the district. There's lots of opportunities. In a couple of weeks, May 8th, you already mentioned it, there's some opportunities to be a part of Habitat for Humanity, the Day of Service. And I know you're going to talk more about that, maybe not today, I don't know if you are, but today or later. But there's a great opportunity there to be involved as well.
Wonderful.
So does anybody have any questions?
I have an announcement about RILA.
Go right ahead, Bill Rubin.
Okay. So I just got notice yesterday that there's going to be a one-day virtual RILA. The date is July 24th, a Saturday. And applications, everybody will be accepted. The first 250, I think, statewide, including Wyoming and Nebraska and Colorado, will be accepted to the one-day virtual event. So if you're interested, I'll type in my email and you can find out more about it, okay?
I have a question for you, Bill.
Yep.
Tell us what RILA stands for. What is it
Stands for
about?
Rotary Youth Leadership Award. And in the past, it's been a week-long conference up in Estes Park, or there was a middle school program down near Parker. But that has been suspended for 2 years. So it's a leadership conference. It teaches soft skills such as active listening, empathy training, team building, things like that. It's a wonderful thing. And we've really struggled the last couple of years because of COVID, as you can imagine. So probably next year we'll go back to in-person conferences, but this year it's going to be a virtual one-day event.
Hey, Bill Rubin, this is Bill Anderson. I have another question. I happen to know a 7th grader. He lives in my house. Is there, what age groups are involved in this year's one day RILA?
It's for high schoolers this year.
Okay.
Not for middle schoolers. Unfortunately, the decision was made that we couldn't do it all. So the middle school program has been suspended for these 2 years, but it'll be a high schoolers event. So.
Bill, I just saw something come in on the chat that I wanted to raise with you. One, Jim Radowski says that if you get on the treadmill right now, he will donate $100 to the Boulder Rotary Club. Bill Rubin, will you take that $100?
I've got a question before Bill. Is this year's virtual RILA open to students from all over the state, or is it centered on our district, or who's eligible?
It's two districts, 5440 and 5450. So 5440 is Western Nebraska, all of Wyoming, Northern Colorado, and then 5450 is our district, which is the Front Range, up to Colorado Springs and up to the Divide. So.
Thank you.
We are now.
I just have to say, the magic of this amazing technology is I just went online and I was able to make a donation from Sarasota, Florida. So this is pretty. I mean, this is beyond my mental capacity to understand, but it's real easy to make a donation to everybody.
But I've seen 3 or at least 2 matches of the challenge for Bill Rubin to get on the treadmill. So we can raise $300 if Bill Rubin will just get on that treadmill.
You know what I say about that? Forget about it.
Service above self, Bill, come on.
Well, I already did my workout, but you know, the thing is, here's as we are all in our homes. I mean, I could use a virtual backdrop, but I don't like the way they look. So you get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly. So.
Very good. So we do have Gary Kahn. Why don't you go ahead and unmute yourself, Gary? You've got something you'd like to say.
Yeah, I just would, for any of you who'd like to see that beautiful infinite walk of peace that we've created up front and personally, tomorrow we're going to do that walk that Marlene told you about in memoriam to the victims of the shooters. But what she didn't tell you was that we're going to meet on the south side of the creek at the amphitheater thing there at the International Peace Park. And so if you park in the parking lot at the main library parking lot and just head over to the creek, you'll see us standing there. And we'll leave just shortly after 3 o'clock. It'll be a beautiful day, so I would encourage you to join us in that walk.
Okay, thank you very much for a little bit more detail on that, Gary, and a nice push for everybody.
Mike?
Are there any, yeah, Pam?
I just have a quick question. You know, when I drive around and I see the homeless people at the corners, you know, the corner of the streets begging and everything, my heart breaks for them. And one of the things that I have done, and I'm wondering if this is something that maybe people would be interested in doing. I love the idea of the kits that get handed out. And is there a place in those kits for possibly a store card? What I do is I go to the store, and when I'm feeling a little extra rich, I use my credit card so that I get air miles, and I buy King Soopers cards. And when I see people on the street corner, I just hand them a King Soopers card. Is there any place like that? I mean, they can go and buy food. Is there any place like that, or soap, or toothbrushes? But anyway.
So Pam, this is Bill. Thanks for raising that. You know, it is something that we talked about. The other alternative that we talked about was also kind of a McDonald's card or something like that, so folks could get hot food, a cup of coffee. I mean, with the dollar menu at McDonald's, for example, if you gave someone a $5 or a $10 card, they could actually stretch that to a few meals. Because our goal at the outset was to keep the cost of production of the bags down, we didn't pursue that, but it is something that we're totally open to. And I'm glad you kind of raised it again, because there's an additional thing that goes into the bags that I didn't talk about, which is, I don't know if folks can see that well, but this is the Mental Health Partners card, which has both crisis and a detox and a sexual assault hotline that folks can call as well, which is also something that goes out in the bags. Obviously, as we know, there's a lot of vets, there's a lot of folks with substance abuse or addiction issues. And so we also want folks to know that help is there if they want it. But thanks for raising that, Pam, and it's absolutely something that we're open to. It's just a funding issue.
So where does all the, I mean, you operate on donations, but there's got to be some funding that backs you. Is that correct?
So it's a funny story. So I presented to the board, but ultimately I ended up funding the first round. As we go forward, we'll probably discuss a more permanent funding stream or try to secure a more permanent funding stream. But I was the funding stream on the first go round, but in the future, we'll work that out.
You mind sharing with us how much you put into the project?
Sure. So the initial outlay was about $1,000.
Okay.
And the bags we were able to create for essentially $3.89 per bag. So we were charging $5 for folks to buy them, or $20 for 4 bags, I think was what we were doing. Essentially just to offset the cost of creating the bags. And then with the idea that in the long run, we'll be able to take that funding and put them into additional bags and do some additional projects with both the Rotary kids and with BRC.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you. And so for future funding, Bill Anderson, have you considered maybe partnering up with Bill Rubin and getting him on the treadmill? And then actually, so that he's prepared next time?
I mean, I tried. I thought we could maybe double bill it. I'm willing to go down to the treadmill in my house if Bill Rubin will get on the treadmill in his house.
Well, so from now on, we're just going to talk about $1,000 as 10 Bill Rubins. It's an equivalent to 10 Bill Rubins. So that being said, we're going to close the question section.
Go for a hike. How about Bill Anderson and I? We go for a hike up the Flatirons or something.
Okay, that's fine. So that's it for the questions section, guys. I'm going to send it back over to Sally Brown. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mike. Thank you, everybody. It was so entertaining, so fun. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to call on Dr. George Russell, who has a birthday for us.
We have one birthday boy today, Michael Simpson. Michael, take it away.
Well, George, you really set the stage here, and I think it's useful to say I've proposed to a few people in the club over the years that we do something that we did successfully at the Utica, New York Club, and have a Poet Laureates contest, recognizing that if George comes in with a performance like that, somebody in the club's got to be able to beat him. And so what we're going to do today is sort of share a little bit of my COVID therapy with a poem that I would have gladly put in a Poets Laureates contest as a fundraiser for the club. But given that we haven't done it yet, well, it's got to be a freebie. So here it goes. Going crazy and stir, as prisoners well know, happens quickly to those behind bars. Just ceilings and walls, bare floors in the halls, hardly a chance to look at the stars. With COVID-19 being so mean, I'm beginning to feel the same. Confined to my house, holed up like a mouse, stir crazy is surely to blame. As I think of the places I'd much rather be, the places too numerous to name. Before the confinement, the stir, as they say, I was shaken by news every day. The virus, it said, left many folks dead and was spreading like fire and hay. So when leaders spoke out, with good reason, no doubt, that we needed more distance between us, I followed the rules and avoided the fools who insisted the virus was bogus. But COVID-19 refused to be stopped, and the news grew more shaking than ever. It ravaged the old and sickened the young, resisting all human endeavor. Thus shaken again and confined in my pen, I struggle to cope with internment. Though the logic be clear, though the sickness and fear, in my stir, I just hope for deferment. Though news makes me nervous, uncertain and shaken, In confinement, it must be averred. With each passing day, it's more easy to say, I was happier shaken, stirred. Hey, George, the challenge there, I'll take you on in a poet laureates contest and people can pay to attend.
Great poem, great poem. You win. You win. That's all on birthdays, unless someone else wants to chime in.
Thank you, George, and happy birthday, Michael. That was a great poem. I appreciate it. And I see just quickly the pop-ups going by, and someone mentioned buying gift cards. So what the club really needs is support of the good works. So if you're wanting to buy some gift cards, maybe you make a donation to the club, and then the club then is there able to fund things like this. Like, so Bill Anderson puts forth a request and so on. So if you've got some inkling to do that, Chad gave you that link, and I believe it is also in the chat. So, you know, you can feel free to act on that. And I hope that you are all entertained and also very proud of yourselves today. And George, thanks again. And Fred, if you could play the brew for us.
I need somebody help, not just anybody help. You know I need someone.
Hello, Rotarians and guests, and thank you for being here today. And when people need help, they turn to Rotary. All who wear the pin share the bond.
Happy belated birthday to our founder, Paul Harris, on April 19th.
Happy birthday, Paul. And tomorrow marks the beginning of World Immunization Week, April 24th through 30th. And it has a special meaning this year. Did you realize that the plus in Polio Plus is Rotary's work to create better pathways for immunization? And it's going to help whip COVID-19.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot.
Did you know that it takes 3 or more Rotarians to have a makeup? The Kotkeys and Stunkles found a way to do a makeup in Sarasota, Florida.
This is a video of a GoPro attached to a Rotarian.
No, Daryl, that's actually a dog. And there's going to be a dog party tomorrow at North Boulder Park at 1 p.m., so bring your dog.
And you could put a GoPro on your dog if you wanted. Or you. And the award goes to...
We're not sure yet, but if you want to help us out, feel free to nominate club members for projects for ours or the district awards. Contact Jeannie Sloshin or Marty Evans to nominate or to volunteer.
It is tonight, people. The Interact Club's Boulder Fairview High Jam Fest. There's a battle of the bands. It's going to be amazing. Time is running out to get your tickets, or you can donate with the URL listed in the rib. Help your Interact Club. Help Bridge House.
We'll be there. Join us. Join us in a memorial walk tomorrow at 3 p.m. at the International Peace Garden.
Boulder Strong. And remember to sign up for the Rotary District Conference of 5450, our district, May 6th, 7th, and 8th.
And the International Conference sign-up is also right now, and it's June 12th through the 16th.
Great time to start reading, especially if you're a slow reader. July 12th is the next book club meeting, and the book is Shame.
We have certainly enjoyed being a partner with Sister Carmen this year with the food drives. And so next week, Suzanne Crawford, their CEO, will be here to talk to us about what's happening with them right now.
Don't miss it. All right, that's about it for us. Remember to donate for your good works. And everybody, say it with us now while you're hugging the earth. Have a great weekend.
All right, well, I hope you found plenty of ways to get involved with Rotary today. And don't forget about the Day of Service coming up, which is May 8th. And you can write to Ben Gilo if you want to help out with the food drive. If you wanted to work on Habitat for Humanity or clean up the creek, you can write to me and I will hook you up with the appropriate people. But all across our district, all Rotarians are going to be involved in something on May 8th. And then in the evening, you'll have more information coming up about this, but we're going to have a drive-in at, it's over by the YMCA at 95th and Arapahoe, and we're going to have a lot of fun watching a movie. So hopefully making a little bit of money for our good works and having some fun. So more information coming on that, but mark your day as May 8th, you are busy. You have something to do. So I hope that you will take my challenge and that you will help us with sweat equity, or you will donate some money to the club for good works to support us in the upcoming year. And I'll see you next week, and we'll hear from Sister Carmen. Have a great week. Bye, everybody.